Call the matter of Stephanie LaBouffe versus Thomas King, file number 18-17146DP. Mr. King, can you please unmute? Let me know if you can hear me okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. And Mr. Blumberg, if you could please place your appearance on the record.
Certainly, Judge. Thank you. Elliot Blumberg on behalf of Ms. LaBeouf. Judge, we're here today because my client had filed a request for a child support review. There had been no reviews done since 2018. Mr. King had been paying $322 a month during that period. The front of the court required the parties to turn in updated financial information. Mr. King did not provide any information. There was a hearing on January 25th, and Mr. King again failed to appear for that proceeding. He's then filed an objection to the recommendation, which is now at $522. It's our position that his failure to provide the information, as well as his failure to appear, negates his ability to object to this recommendation. So we're asking that the front of the court recommendation be put in place with the effective date of November 19th, 2024.
Thank you. Mr. King, you filed an objection to a child support recommendation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. And did you provide any information so that recommendation could be prepared?
I did not understand what I was given, and as I told, I think Miss Shasta, was that I don't know if it came late or what was going on, but it seemed like the moment I opened it, I only had a week to fill it out and respond to it, and the date that I seen it might have been my mistake, but it looked like the court date was back in November, not January. That's why I didn't show up in January. But no, I did not fill anything out.
All right. So it looks like the recommendation itself went out January 7th. Mr. King did file his objection January 21st. My understanding is, though, he did not provide his any financial information, but I'll hear the specifics of your objection and we'll go from there. So, sir, what are your objections to the recommendation?
Well, from what I understood, it wanted to go all the way up to almost $1,100 a month. And I work construction and I have a lot of health issues. And currently right now I'm in and out of the doctors between a back doctor and a heart doctor. If at any point in time I get sick, like I didn't work at all last week, so there was no child support from last week. And at the rate that, according to what I read, at that rate, if I get sick and I'm off work for 3 to 6 months, then I'm going to fall way behind.
All right. Well, we can't play future predictors and guess if you're going to be off a certain number of months during a calculation. A calculation is based on what your recent employment has been like. Obviously, if there is a support ordered amount that is entered and then there is a change in circumstances that prevents somebody from earning their income, that is a reason to come back to the court to see if support should be on hold or if it should be reduced. But we can't just assume whether or not you're going to be sick in the future.
And I also have another child. She is 3 years old.
Okay. Friend of the court, were you aware of the additional child?
We were not, because he didn't provide information. Just based on his objection, he indicated that there was an additional child.
Okay. And then as to determining his pay, did you have information to assist you in that?
We did. We received an employer's disclosure indicating his year-to-date, his overtime that was indicated, and then his gross earnings from the prior year. So we inputted based on that information, which was $30 an hour by 40 hours, and then his $400 in weekly overtime, which was indicated on that disclosure.
Okay. Mr. Blumberg, does your client dispute that he does have an additional child?
He doesn't know. She's unaware of that.
All right, Mr. King, do you have custody of that child, or what's the situation with that child?
Yes, I do. I have custody of her.
Okay. Would you please raise your right hand? Mr. King, would you raise your right hand, and do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. King, so this is your opportunity then to let the court know and provide any testimony that you wish to provide regarding an additional child. So obviously the child in this case, other than this child, do you have any other children that are under 18 years of age?
No, I do not. I only have the two.
All right, so my question was, other than the child in this case, you do have one other child then under the age of 18, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Blumberg, do you wish to ask Mr. King any questions?
Well, I do, but I'm taken back by the fact that he hasn't provided the court with any of this information. I mean, this hearing probably would not have been necessary had he done what he was required to do. And I appreciate the fact that he's unrepresented, but that shouldn't alleviate him of his responsibilities to provide the friend of the court with the information. So, yeah, with that having been said, Mr. King, where do you live?
I live in Noblesville, Indiana.
And you have physical custody of another child?
Yes, I do.
And what's the child's name?
Scarlett Noble Lynn King.
And what's her date of birth?
10/28/21.
And how long have you had physical custody of that child?
Her entire life.
Does the mother have parenting time?
We are together. I'm married to her mother.
And so, given the health conditions that you've just described for the court, you're not able to support that child as well?
My wife does have a job, so there is a second income, but I am the main breadwinner or placeholder of my household.
You would agree, would you not, Mr. King, that you had not had any increase in your child support since 2018?
That is correct. I do believe that's when it was established.
Right. And you've made the exact same amount of money for the last 7 years?
No, it's increased on the year based on project, but it has increased.
I guess my question, sir, is you didn't inform the friend of the court of any increases in your income, did you?
No, I did not. I'm generally working throughout all their open hours. It's really hard on me to communicate with them.
Okay. Judge, I don't have any other questions.
All right, thank you. So based on the information before the court, the friend of the court has indicated that they did determine his income based on an employer disclosure form. So I'm not going to make any changes to income. There is an additional child of Mr. King. So we will add that child to the recommendation. So his objection is granted in part and denied in part. We will prepare a new recommendation based on him having one additional child. Any questions, Mr. Blumberg?
No, Judge, thank you.
Mr. King, any questions?
No.
All right, thank you both for appearing. That does conclude the matter. You may sign off.